KXO and WIRV. Support your favorite teams and sit back and enjoy the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Brought to you by Bishop Small Engine Repair, the Richmond Raceway, the Law Office of Patrick O'Neill, and Nuevo Vallarta. And now let's go live with your host, Michael Watkins and Samantha Burford.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome into the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show live here on WBON TV Channel 9. Michael Watkins, Samantha Burford, Dawson Rowe here with you on another Monday night after a weekend of some big games, some big moments, and a lot to talk about here on the Sports Show. Samantha, so excited to be with you all once again on the Monday night.
We have had some fantastic plays, some fantastic players. I mean, this weekend, you said it, it was action-packed.
Buzzer beaters at Model, and we had a triple overtime game at Berea. Dawson, you had the North Laurel Madison Central game on Saturday, and then EKU with some big wins last week as well. Just a gigantic week of sports in the area.
And I apologize to Model. I forgot to talk about their buzzer beater from Friday night. I just completely forgot, but that was stinking awesome too.
Yeah, down by 2 and you hit a 3 to win the game.
And a turnaround.
Yeah, falling out of bounds.
There was a triple overtime win in Berea. Girl. I was like, man, all these games. You just forget one sometimes. But no, there were so many things. EKU, Central, Berea, Southern, all these games everyone was playing. It was awesome. There's
some big ones this week as well. We'll get to those later on. But first, we're going to talk about the Madison County Sports Hall of Fame with Karl Park here with us, executive board member, chair-elect of the executive board. Karl, first of all, welcome to the show. Always a pleasure having you on. And, you know, if there's anybody that knows about the history of the sports, not only here in Madison County, but especially at EKU, it's Karl. And, Karl, we appreciate you joining us.
I appreciate that.
First of all, again, you know, last year was the first inductees entered into the Madison County Sports Hall of Fame. Now we have class number 2. Y'all just announced that last week, and it's a big deal to have this here. You and several people were a big part of that. Just talk about, first of all the people behind the scenes kind of pulling the strings on this thing.
Sure. We have 11 board members, and last year was our first one, and we concentrated last year on folks that were born before 1950. We thought if we didn't do that they might get forgotten down the road.
Yeah, and you just missed the cut on that, Samantha.
I hate it.
So we relaxed that this year. We've got several different age groups, and the younger folks like Damian Harris, and they're coming, but they're just not quite in there yet. But we have 9 inductees, 9 individuals, and 2 teams. So we're looking forward to May 20th at the Perkins Building when we induct the folks.
You know, this class is big. You know, last year's class was big. Had folks like Roy Kidd. There were some former players and just names that obviously all these deserve to be in there. But talk about, you know, some of the class from last year.
Okay, last year we had you mentioned Roy Kidd. We had Earl Combs.
Yeah.
He went in. Had Don Mills, the local insurance agent that played for UK. Billy Evans, who's I didn't realize this, but his jerseys hang at Rupp Arena. Played for Rupp. Those were 4 of the 10, and we had a good class, good turnout. It was packed, and we're expecting another good. But we seat about 280 in Perkins Building, and I'm sure it'll be full this year.
What's the criteria, Karl, for now? Like, I looked through these players and coaches and such. I didn't really recognize them because they were a bit before my time. But what was the criteria for selecting them from the past? Like, what they did and such?
Right. We have nomination forms on the website, and then of course we have so many people involved that know the different history of the sports teams and individuals. So we had a good basis of individuals to choose from. I think we had around 55.
Oh, wow.
So
Nominations.
So we voted on those as a group, and then it was a kind of a natural cutoff between 9 and 10, and we did 10 last year. So we said, well, we don't have to do 10 every year. So we chose 9 individuals.
I'm excited about the 2 teams, these special teams. Talk to us about that, because that's pretty special.
They are special. Madison Central's 1982 team, mythical national champions, but they were 40-0, had some great players. Jeff Cruz pitched for Eastern. It was a Hall of Famer for us, and, of course, Cliff Winkler. There's all kinds of local people that are still around. So we think that we're going to have a good crowd out of that group. And then the 1969-70 team was special. They went all the way to Freedom Hall and played in the championship game against Louisville Mayo. Came up just a little bit short. but great season, and had a Mr. Basketball. Robert Brooks is going in off that team, and he's quite a player. He came on to Eastern and played. Had a great 4-year career. So, yeah, the two teams we chose are special.
Yeah, that team lost by 1, I think.
1 point.
Right?
Yeah,
So-
wow. Yeah, that's a big deal. Well, you look at some of these names, too. You talked about that. You've got Beverly Ackerlins, high school and college swimming and diving athlete. You mentioned Robert Brooks. You got Shirley Kearns, who was a high school coach and administrator. You got Monty Joe Lavelle, former high school football coach. Edwin Luxon, high school and college and amateur golfer. Sandy Martin, Russell Buddy Roberts, Talbot Todd, and Roland Weirwilly, who's the court over at Berea College is named after. So some big names. Some names folks will recognize, obviously.
That's right. We had a good class, and there's so many that we could probably put in 25 that people would recognize. But Roland Weirwilly, his success at Berea College, he went in the NAIA Hall of Fame. Buddy Roberts was a longtime coach at Madison Central. He and Shirley Kearns both played for Paul McBrayer, so there's some history there. Edwin Luxon, a local golfer that just owned the Madison Country Club Labor Day tournament. I think he won 7 in a row.
Oh, wow.
And went on and played at Eastern. So, yeah, we have we're pleased with the class that we chose.
So my quick question is, you talked about some of the criteria, but when you guys sit around at the table and you're discussing, I guess you do discuss each person and say, you know what, maybe we wait on them, or what's more of the criteria? Does it have to be a unanimous vote?
No, it doesn't. Just majority. We have a ballot, and we marked, I think, 15. We knew we weren't going to put in 15, but we had a little wiggle room there, and the secretary counted the votes and came back with again, a separation between 9 and 10 athletes, and that's the way it was chosen.
So, I think that's great.
Yeah.
So, Karl, with more recent athletes, maybe from 10, 20, 30 years ago, when do you expect them to start to trickle in as Hall of Fame inductees?
I would think any time now. Of course, Damian Harris is still playing. We haven't got a written rule, but we kind of talked about him going in, but maybe when his career is over.
Yeah, Dominique Hawkins. Yeah.
What a great candidate he would be. Donald Bosley, 2,000-point score at Kentucky Wesleyan.
Yeah, Kinja Bosley. Yeah.
Kinja. And so we have a very good, I guess you'd say, younger group that's kind of waiting in the wings.
Well, I think, you look at some of the names that are out there right now, and there's obviously, we talked about Hugh Davis off the air. I think, most folks recognize Hugh just because he's the guy always at all the games doing the stats. He did stats for Eastern for forever, did stats, for all the still does stats for a lot of the high schools. If I had to pick one person, that's who I would put him. You look, Coach Feldhouse, I think he's going to be in there. Yeah. Austin Newton, it's still young in his coaching career, but what he did as a player at Eastern, what he did at Madison Southern, now what he's doing at Berea College.
I'm going to say both Feldhouses.
Oh, yeah, Karen, exactly, yeah.
Karen,
she's won more state championships than her husband has. So,
and national titles.
So, yeah, there's all kinds of names there, and obviously their time will come, but you just see how important this is, and you see the history of this, this county and all the legends that have kind of come through it. It's cool to see all the names and kind of relive some of that history. Obviously I loved Coach Kidd's, his speech from last year. Yeah. But those are some moments that, you're never going to forget. We were able to be a part of it last year, streaming it. We're going to be there again this year. It's fun to be a part of and see some of these legends be appreciated. And, even whenever it's been 20, 30, 40 years, maybe since somebody has seen them in the area, to kind of have them come back and be honored for what they were able to do while they were here.
Yeah. One fellow, you mentioned Coach Kidd, that he coached this man in high school, Talbot Todd, and he's got the walkway from Kroger Field to Nutter Fieldhouse named after him. So you can tell what kind of special player he was. He played quarterback and safety over at UK, and he was quarterback for Coach Kidd, I think, 4 years. And they went to state finals. It was a real muddy game over at Stall Field, and I think it was 6-0. They got beat by Fort Thomas Highlands, but they had a great season. I think it was only lost the ad.
So the ceremony itself, the induction ceremony, will take place on May the 20th at 5 p.m. tell folks how they can get involved. I know it's still early probably to get tickets, but how can they get involved and maybe set up a time or set up a way to buy tickets for that?
Well, it's going to be the tickets will be at the Richmond Area Arts Center again, and we had a discussion in our last meeting about exactly how many are going to be available. We've got this 1982 team. We know there's a lot of folks involved with that, and we've got I think all but maybe 2 of the inductees are living, and they each get a table of 8 complimentary, so that's 72 seats right off the bat, and so it's going to be a full house. We just don't know the time. It could probably be around May 1st when we open it to the public.
Okay, yeah.
But it'll be at the Richmond Area Arts Center down on 2nd Street.
So to stay up to date with that, what's the best place to I mean, obviously, we'll put it out there for you all, but the website's Madison County sportshof.com. Is there Facebook, social media? You all put stuff like that out?
We're going to do Facebook this year. We've got a secretary that's said that she was going to make that available.
Good.
So we'll see. That'll bring in quite a.
Yeah.
It'll fill it up for sure.
And you guys need sponsors, right? I'm sure you have some. There's 3 different levels.
Right. We've been going around town now. We started actually last week securing the ones that came in last year and see if we can't get some more. But we ended up with a good budget. We had a good meal, Aramark.
It was
Easter.
good, yeah.
We wanted to make sure that we didn't want to make it a kind of a chintzy meal for an event like that. So we were pleased with that, and the EKU Perkins building folks decorated it. The Richmond Garden Club did the flowers.
It's really classy.
We had a lot of community involvement.
So I have a question for the future of the Madison County Sports Hall of Fame. Some sports Hall of Fames around Kentucky I've heard of, they have like a physical place, and that's been around for years, that you can go, maybe seasonally and like walk in and see plaques of maybe 10 so years down the road, will the Madison County Sports Hall of Fame have a building where you can maybe go in and see
Well, I don't know about
things?
a building, but we do have a room in the Madison County Library.
Okay.
So we were able to secure that. It's really a nice big room. We can put probably 10 years worth of plaques in there.
Wow.
And it's
Okay,
on the
yeah.
second
That's
floor,
awesome.
and local people can go in and look at that.
There you go. That's Karl Park from the Madison County Sports Hall of Fame, the second class inducted. The announcement came in last week, folks. Again, you can check out the Madison County Sports HOF.com to see all the details about the next class. Look back at last year's class, get all the details, and be sure to check out that Facebook page when it becomes available. And there's a nomination form for next year, all kinds of cool stuff, sponsor information. So head on over there and check that out right now, Madison County Sports HOF.com. Karl, thanks for joining us. We got a big show lined up. Got some more EKU talk.
Well, good.
So we got that coming up as well. Appreciate you stopping by, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks so much for having me.
Now step aside for our first commercial break, and we'll be right back on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
Whether you're in the market for a brand new Chevrolet, you're looking for a pre-owned quality vehicle, or your family car is in need of service by our GM certified technician, Jack Burford has what you need. Come to Jack Burford Chevrolet in Richmond for all of your automotive needs. Family owned and operated since 1964, Jack Burford Chevrolet is your hometown Chevrolet dealership. Check us out at jackburford.com or come in and see us today. We are located on the EKU bypass across the street from Walmart.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer. And in the spring of 1992, Bishop's Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today.
With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Coconut, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop's Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 Northwest Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see you.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best fajitas in town. Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
When perfect is in the air, you can feel it. Presenting the new Ultimate Comfort System from Lennox, the most advanced heating and air conditioning system ever.
Call 859-779-0122 now and get the best Lennox home comfort systems at a price you'll love. That's affordable heating and air at 859-779-0122 or online at affordableheating-air.com.
Hi there, I'm Alan Feldhouse Jr., head basketball coach at Madison Central High School. Here at MCHS, we have built a winning team. I'd like to tell you about another local winning team, family-owned and operated Bluegrass Restoration and Construction. They specialize in roofing, general construction, and home maintenance services. Just like on the court, you need a team that will work together to get the job done, and that's exactly what BRC does. Give them a call at 859-353-1133. Row Tribe.
We're back on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Appreciate Karl Park from the Madison County School, or the Madison County Sports Hall of Fame, for stopping by to check in with us about the upcoming class. Now we're going to talk some football, Samantha. We've
Can
got
you believe it?
Cade Sullivan here with us from Madison Southern. And Cade, last week you made the decision. You'd already made the decision to choose Morehead State to further your academic and sports career. But you made it official last week, signing your NLI, your National Letter of Intent, to play at Morehead State. First of all, just talk about that, the day itself, and how important that was to you to finally put the name and the cross the T's and dot the I's there.
It was a big day for me. I mean, all my life I wanted to go play Division I football, and signing that made me feel so great, just to be able to finally put that into perspective in real life. So it was big for me.
You guys, you I guess in your family, you attended Morehead several times, camps and different things. How many times did you go to
Multiple
Morehead?
games, spring games, visits, a ton of times. I felt really at home there.
I mean, I looked at the list of all the places that you had offers to. It was impressive.
A long list. So what made you choose Morehead?
A long list, yes.
They were the second team to ever offer me, and they were the first, really big school that everybody knew. And so, from the jump, it felt like home. And the more I visited, the more I talked with the coaching staff, all that stuff made me feel just always at home. Every time I went there, it felt like home.
What was your team's reaction at Southern, of course, when they found out you were committing to Morehead State?
I think they always knew. I always wore Morehead stuff. I had Morehead State gloves, too, so I think it didn't come a big surprise to anybody.
Oh, yeah, the ones that
you
put together.
The hem or
Eagle.
something.
Yeah, you're going to be a continuous Eagle.
Yep.
I mean, how
Always
cool is
Makes
that?
it a little bit easier,
Always
right?
an Eagle.
During the ceremony, Coach Coach Payne got up there and did a big speech about you and talked about your relationship with him. He's been around you for a long time. Talk about that and just how important he was to you and how important he was in helping you with this decision.
Since 6th grade, I always loved football and got to play on Team Kentucky, which was a middle school all-star thing.
Yeah.
And he was the head coach 6th grade year. And from the jump, from the first practice, I felt amazing with him. Me and him got it together really well. And from then on, it was he always was my coach during the Team Kentucky stuff. And so we just kept talking. We, created a bond together. And he's always been just my favorite coach. He's always been there for me. I mean, I've had some hardships in my life, and he's always called me, check in on me all the time. I'm really fortunate I got to move up here, and glad that he was down there when I moved up here to be able to go play for him as a whole player, not just on an all-star team or for a week or a weekend.
You know, you had a great season last year, and the team obviously kind of up and down with some changes in the quarterback situation, some inexperienced guys getting some play at some very important positions. But talk about the team that you were a part of last year. There were some very good players. Jackson Chambers has been, I think he's playing college football. Obviously, Jay Sean Etheridge has been one of my favorite players to watch since we've been doing games
going
here.
To Georgetown,
yeah,
right?
going to Georgetown.
Yeah.
So talk about some of these guys that you played with last year and how you think that helped you improve your game in your final high school season.
You know, I think we had a very good team last year. I mean, I think personally we're the best 3-8, 3-9 football team in the whole state.
Right.
I think the problem is that we couldn't find each other.
Yeah.
It's like we didn't have a family bond that we needed, but our team was very good. I think that we could have had a better season if we just learned how to finish. We could never finish. We were in close ball games. I mean, Central lost by 3 or 2.
Yeah. Had a big lead against your former team in that first game too. I mean, there was a lot of chances to get some big wins.
The playoff game, you were gaming. Y'all were gaming Southwestern there in that first round. That was a good game.
It was tough. We just can't finish. But we had a good team, and we all got, even though we didn't really have a bond in one way, we had bonds in other ways. I love that team. One of my favorite teams I've ever been a part of.
Okay, so I got a great question because stalking your Twitter feed here the last, few months, it was exciting to see that you talked about gymnastics and how you credit gymnastics and how it doesn't get enough credit in your football training. Talk to us about that.
My mom was a cheer coach. She coached for Somerset, so she introduced me to the whole gymnastics thing. I loved gymnastics. Right when I started doing gymnastics, I felt more athletic.
Yeah.
I mean, being able to move your body in the air, one of the coolest things to be able to know. I mean, obviously you've seen me. When I jump in the air, I can always land.
We always call you the jumper.
Yeah, the hurdle king.
Hurdling everybody. Yeah, man.
I think that helped a ton with all that. And it also makes you, go through the air, being able to bend your body a certain way. I think gymnastics really helped me with football and other sports too, track too.
So guys, listen up. Gymnastics.
You know, what was your favorite thing about Morehead State? I mean, obviously, you knew from the early part of your career that you wanted to play there. What was so special about that place that made you want to go play for them?
Well, one was I love the campus. The mountain area is awesome.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to live in the mountains, and, it's a campus right in the middle of the mountains. I love the coaching staff. I mean, Rob Tenier's been there for 20-some years.
Yeah.
So I know he's going to be loyal. And I know I'm going to be loyal to them. They're a great team, I've always felt like I've wanted to go there. I've always watched them. We used to have Kentucky Future Stars camps, and you'd have to stay in a dorm there. I mean, I was in 6th grade and staying in a dorm there all through 8th grade. It was awesome.
Have they told you about what maybe your role is on the team? Will you be a running back, return man? Have they said anything?
They've said I was an athlete. They don't know where they want to put me at yet. I mean, they talked about running back, receiver, kick returner, all kinds of things.
Well, you can do it all.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
How great is that? Because you're going to be able to go wherever they need you.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
So this past season at Southern, what's your favorite memory that pops up? Every player's got a favorite memory or a favorite play or something that happened in a win, team, locker room moment. What was it for you?
Probably team camp. We all just got really close and had a really good time at team camp. We all had a lot of laughs. Probably favorite play was that jumping over that kid at Hurt Central. That was probably my favorite play.
Yeah, that was awesome.
There were a few of those.
That's like a
though.
highlight reel right there.
Here's some of the numbers for Cade. He had 66 carries this year, 434 yards, 6 touchdowns. Receiving-wise, 23 catches, 232 yards, and a touchdown there. And he had 6 touchdowns rushing. We talked about that. The 1 touchdown receiving, had a kickoff return touchdown. And it just seemed like when when the lights were brightest, when they needed a big play, you were the guy that provided that for them. And I think, when you look back at some of those highlights from last year, you and Jay Sean, when they just got the ball in your all's hands and just gave you room to work with, that's when the good things happened for Madison Southern last season.
I think we should have done that more often. I think me and Jay Sean should have got the ball. That's one thing I could change from last season, too, would be that. But yeah, I always like to make the big plays. Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games.
There you go. Had a lot of chances last year, Kate, and you talked about, new quarterback, new head coach, new coordinators. A lot of new players.
New.
So there were a lot of things that, you kind of need to be figured out. And obviously, Coach Payne, his first year as a head coach, he will obviously get better, but you can tell the potential is there. What do you think, you talked about this program, how good they can be next year. What do you, looking back as a senior, talk about some of the players next year that Madison Southern fans should be excited about?
Ethan Moore. Ethan Moore's been working every day. We've been working with me, Chambers, Jay Sean, all of us have been working. Ethan's working really hard right now. I think that entire offense is going to be something to deal with. They're going to be a good offense. And defense, Eric Barnes is going to be a monster. Stephen Whitehead's coming back next year, so everybody knows he's going to be a problem. So I think that team's going to be really good. It's going to shock a lot of people.
There you go.
A lot of people.
That's Cade Sullivan going to play football at Morehead State University. Cade, thanks for stopping by and talking to us. My man, congratulations.
Yes.
And good luck at the next level.
We didn't even I made a whole list, a whole page here of all, just for being here a year, all of his accolades.
Read them off there real quick.
All right, well, you won the WBON kickoff punt return.
Yeah,
you
he
won
was.
that.
You were on our all coverage area
team. You won the offensive MVP for Madison Southern. You were the 5A All-State athlete, the first team All-District athlete in September. You were the #1 in forced fumbles in the state back in September. WBON Player of the Game back in September. There's probably a whole more longer list that I missed, but that's what I just found today in your 1 year. How crazy is that? That is such an accomplishment in just a year.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
You gotta be. I mean, that's exciting. We're excited to continue watching you too. So.
Well, good luck at the next level, man, and thanks for stopping by and talking to us.
Thank you, guys.
Step aside for our second commercial break. We got some big EKU guests heading our way. We'll have Antoinette Walker from EKU women's basketball, and then Isaiah Cozart from the men's team coming your way next. Here live on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills. When you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
Whether you're in the market for a brand new Chevrolet, you're looking for a pre-owned quality vehicle, or your family car is in need of service by our GM certified technician, Jack Burford has what you need. Come to Jack Burford Chevrolet in Richmond for all of your automotive needs. Family owned and operated since 1964, Jack Burford Chevrolet is your hometown Chevrolet dealership. Check us out at jackburford.com or come in and see us today. We are located on the EKU bypass across the street from Walmart.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer. And in the spring of 1992, Bishop Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Cade, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 North Estill Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see you.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best fajitas in town. Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
When perfect is in the air, you can feel it. Presenting the new Ultimate Comfort System from Lennox, the most advanced heating and air conditioning system ever.
Call 859-779-0122 now and get the best Lennox home comfort systems at a price you'll love. That's affordable heating and air at 859-779-0122 or online at affordableheating-air.com.
Hi there, I'm Alan Feldhouse Jr., head basketball coach at Madison Central High School. Here at MCHS, we have built a winning team. I'd like to tell you about another local winning team, family-owned and operated Bluegrass Restoration and Construction. They specialize in roofing, general construction, and home maintenance services. Just like on the court, you need a team that will work together to get the job done, and that's exactly what BRC does. Give them a call at 859-353-1133. Road Tribe.
We're back here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Michael, Samantha, and Dawson. Now talking we go from EKU with Karl Park. I mean, Karl pretty much knows everything. We had a little Morehead State love with Cade Sullivan. Now we're going to talk some EKU women's
all university talk today.
Oh, yeah. With Antoinette Walker, she has been tabbed to the 2023 Ann Myers Drysdale Award mid-season top 10 list. Antoinette, first of all, congratulations on that honor. And what a great start to the season here in your first year in the maroon and white.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I think it's pretty awesome to get that award and everything. That's something that a lot of people don't have the opportunity to be able to even be recognized for. So I think it's pretty cool.
Well, you look at what you all have done this season. I know it's been kind of an up and down part to the year, but you've had a lot of success under Coach Todd. Talk about this team and what you think makes it so special.
Well, the first thing is that we're a family, to be honest. I don't know. We just come in every single day and have the work ethic and the drive to get better every day. You talked about it just being an up and down season for us, and I just feel like just the consistency of us coming in every day and just knowing that even if it's a win or if it's a loss, we got to come in with the same mindset, same attitude to go to the next opponent and get a W.
Antoinette, I looked at the list. There was like 10 who were nominated for this, right? And a lot of them from big schools or, around the country, all big names, And then it's like you at EKU. So, like, what's it like having your name out there but also helping your team get exposure with this?
Honestly, I think it's pretty cool, not only just for myself, like I said earlier, but just the university and the city of Richmond in general. And I feel like a lot of people don't talk about Eastern Kentucky, and so just being able to use my platform for not only the school but the city as well to get even other people besides myself noticed, just kind of opening that door that there are good and great players that play for ASUN Conference and for EKU. Yeah.
Well, she's definitely bringing EKU into the spotlight, especially today. You won the ASUN Weekly Award, first one of the season, the newcomer of the week. Yeah. How exciting is that for that? I mean, that was today.
Yeah, that was today. I think it's pretty awesome. I think that I don't know, it's just another award, and I think I'm just very blessed to just be in that situation, so it's great.
And very humble.
You said first time, too. I don't get it. I mean, look at some of these numbers. Walker has scored 20 consecutive games in double-figure scoring, 11 double-doubles.
Yes.
And then through 20 games, you've scored 420 points, shooting over 50% from the field. Hey, son, what are we doing? I mean, why is this the first time she got that award?
She should have got it last month and the month before.
So, but you look at some of the finalists. You got a player from Louisville, Ohio State, South Carolina, Florida State, Maryland, UCLA. I mean, Drexel is really kind of the only other small school that's on that list. So, Dawson talked about that question. You see the success you've had in your college career. You came down here from Marquette. This team, though, has potential. What do you think you guys, need to do between now and the end of conference play? We're only 3 or 4 weeks away from that ASUN conference tournament. What is the one thing that you all really need to improve on to make a run in that conference tournament?
I would definitely just have to say lock it in on the little things. I think that's just like the biggest thing for us and kind of the reason we're having kind of like the little up and downs here and there. So I think we just lock in on those little things and focus on things that we need to just get better at. I think that's definitely going to push us forward into having more consistent runs and potentially getting higher in the conference for the tournament.
You need to read this because this is everything that I looked up today that she is leading.
You read
the
it. I can't read her out anyway.
You lead the ASUN in double-doubles, made field goals, field goal attempts, made free throws, points per game, rebounds per game, steals per game. Like the list is
so you read all that off. How are we just now getting newcomer of the week? I don't know. Alex, can we do something about that?
We're protesting that she needs to be.
Yeah. So, I mean, we got to figure something
Women's
out there.
Player of the Week every week.
And listen.
Yeah.
You can watch the games on ESPN Plus, son. You got to find a way to get our girl some more love. But
that's right.
Antoine, I mean, so you talked about.
We're giving her the love
tonight,
not
this team and Coach Todd, What makes Coach Todd so special? 'Cause to me, it seems like he is a really good players coach. I watch him out there. His relationship with you all seems to be very tight-knit. And he seems to kind of just let you all play loose. There's not a ton of pressure on you. So do you think that's what makes him special? Talk about Coach Todd and what makes him such a good coach.
Yeah, first off, like you said, Coach Todd is a really great guy. I knew Coach Todd actually before coming here in the recruiting process and everything. And that's honestly one of the reasons that I came to EKU was because of Coach Todd. Like you said, he's a great player coach. He just gives us time just to relax. He really focuses in like on our mental state, different things like that I feel like sometimes kind of go unnoticed when it comes to basketball. So, yeah, he's just a great guy overall. And also, too, he lets us play free.
Yeah.
With this system, we know a little dribble drive system and everything. So it's just like each player is kind of their own person, and every single person on the team has something to bring. So, and he realizes that. So that's something that he really puts in. It really helps us to propel and do well in the conference. Yeah.
So you just bragged about your head coach. Now I want to let you brag about your team. Talk about your teammates, your relationship with them now that you're here at EKU, and maybe you have like a best friend on the team that you spend more time. What's it like in general? Just give us a big overview of that.
Yeah, honestly, like I said earlier in the beginning, we're a family. I love my teammates very much, and especially even when it comes on the court, like we all put in the same work, and so I feel like that's where that kind of trust comes in. All of them have something else to, some different things to bring and everything. So I just love them very much, and they're like sisters to me, to be honest. So I think that's one of the best things about them. Yeah.
I can't believe that we're already getting ready. I mean, we're in conference play now, but getting ready for the tournament. It's almost here. Yeah. Can you believe that this season is like coming to an end until the tournament time? You guys are what, 6-5 in ASUN right now?
Yeah, I believe so.
So
yeah.
Tell me about your goals and what the plans are for this tournament. You got to have a goal. I mean, obviously to win, but what is your team goals?
I'm going to be honest with you. We're just taking it game by game right now, It's so, even though it is close, it is still further in the future. So we still have to just lock in on each game, the little things that we have to do to get those wins in order to possibly get a bye in a conference tournament or things like that. So, of course, like you said, our goal is to win it, but we're just taking it game by game right now.
You look at the last week. Tough loss to Lipscomb, tough loss to Austin P over the weekend. Now you head back in on the road. You got 2 straight road games this week, versus Kennesaw State and at Jacksonville State. After those 2 home losses, how important are these next 2 games to kind of get yourself back some confidence and some momentum to close out the season?
They're extremely important. I feel like, based on our record, we sometimes struggle going on the road. However, the last road game we did just win, so that's definitely something that
beat Stetson by 13.
Exactly, that's something that we're definitely motivating ourselves on, and we have to get these two W's coming on the road. Yeah.
You guys had the trip to Ireland this year. Talk a little bit about that. What did you think about that?
Once in a lifetime. I thought that was just amazing. Yeah, I've never been out of the country at all. I'm sure some of my other teammates haven't as well. So it was just overall a really great experience, being able to just dive into the culture and everything and try different food, just take pictures, different places, things like that. And of course, also play basketball. And I don't know, it was just honestly like a great atmosphere, and it's just really, really fun trip.
We tried to get to go, didn't we?
Yeah, I tried to get Matt to put me in his suitcase.
Yeah, we begged Matt to go in the suitcase. He wouldn't let us.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you stopping by. So, got some big road games this week. This team, before we let you go, I wanted to ask, when you came here, did you expect really all the fandom that you've seen around not only EKU, but the city of Richmond as well? That's one thing when I was talking to some of the football players last week. They bragged about, you go over to some of the restaurants, there's EKU apparel and things up like that. Around campus, it just seems like there's a ton of community support for EKU. Did you expect that when you came here, or were you surprised by that?
That's a good question. I think I would say that I was surprised by it. I knew that Richmond obviously was different from Milwaukee and everything, but I really did not expect the support that this city really gives to just its students and the community in general. Honestly, it's really great. And I mean, specifically, we have like a super fan of ours. Her name is Donna. Shout out to Donna.
We all know Donna.
Donna. But she's also just super awesome, just being there supporting us on pretty much every game. So I think it's amazing.
More importantly, not only do we know Donna, but the officials also know Donna.
Right? Yeah.
All right, Angela, we appreciate you coming over. Yeah. So tell them what they can do, Samantha. Tell them how they can go vote
you
for
can
Antoinette.
vote one time per day. I already voted today. I'm going to keep voting because, girl, I got you. Hoop. I want to make sure I say it right. HoopHallAwards.com.
Yeah.
So you got to vote for other players too. So I was Googling them for other awards.
Look at you doing your homework. I'm proud of you.
I did.
Proud of you.
EKUsports.com.
Yeah, there you go.
I looked it all up. But HoopHallAwards.com. It's very easy. So
get on there and vote for Antoinette Walker from EKU. And if you've not been to a game, folks, still a couple of times to get up there and support this team. They got some more home games coming up. They'll be at home versus North Alabama and Central Arkansas, February 16th and 18th. So 2 more chances to catch the Lady Colonels or the Colonels at home this season. So get on EKUsports.com, get your tickets now, and get out there and support the EKU Colonels. Antoinette, thanks for stopping by, and appreciate you coming over.
Thank you.
So I do have an update. Just got a text from Kevin Britton. So Big Co's thought we were doing a Zoom call tonight. So whether or not Isaiah shows up, we don't know for sure yet. So we're going to find that out. We're going to give Isaiah a hard time because I can do that, and hopefully he will be here. So we'll step aside for another commercial. That might be Big Co's walking in right here. Let's take a commercial break. We'll come right back here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
Whether you're in the market for a brand new Chevrolet, you're looking for a pre-owned quality vehicle, or your family car is in need of service by our GM certified technician, Jack Burford has what you need. Come to Jack Burford Chevrolet in Richmond for all of your automotive needs. Family owned and operated since 1964, Jack Burford Chevrolet is your hometown Chevrolet dealership. Check us out at jackburford.com or come in and see us today. We are located on the EKU bypass across the street from Walmart.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer. And in the spring of 1992, Bishop Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Cade, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 North Estill Avenue in Richmond.
We can't wait to see ya.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best fajitas in town. Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
When perfect is in the air, you can feel it. Presenting the new Ultimate Comfort System from Lennox, the most advanced heating and air conditioning system ever.
Call 859-779-0122 now and get the best Lennox home comfort systems at a price you'll love. That's affordable heating and air at 859-779-0122 or online at affordableheating-air.com.
Hi there, I'm Alan Feldhouse Jr., head basketball coach at Madison Central High School. Here at MCHS, we have built a winning team. I'd like to tell you about another local winning team, family-owned and operated Bluegrass Restoration and Construction. They specialize in roofing, general construction, and home maintenance services. Just like on the court, you need a team that will work together to get the job done, and that's exactly what BRC does. Give them a call at 859-353-1133. Road Tribe.
Back here in the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show inside of Jack Burford Chevrolet. And we talked about the big game that took place on Saturday, Samantha. Right. We got a kid here with us right now that played in a ton of big games for Madison Central, Isaiah Cozart.
I'm feeling short. Are you feeling short?
No, I've been around Isaiah a ton. I'm not feeling short. As long as you don't block my shot, I'm good to go.
He's blocking your shot.
Yeah. Well, Isaiah, first of all, man, we are so happy to have you. We've been trying to get Isaiah. I've been talking to his mom. I was talking to Coach Hamilton. We've been trying to get Isaiah on, but he's a very wanted man, and for good reason. Isaiah just broke the program record for blocks in a season. Had 4 blocks in the win on Saturday to go along with 10 points and 5 rebounds. 57 blocks on the season. That surpasses Nick Mayo's mark of 55 set just back about 4 years ago. So, Isaiah, first of all, congratulations. And, man, you look good in that maroon and white.
Thank you. Thank you.
Talk about that deal, that record, and what that really means to you. I mean, first year here. We know Coach Hamilton wanted you before you went down to Bowling Green. Now you're back, and, I mean, we see why everybody wanted you here in the maroon and white now. Well, talk about this record and what it means to you.
You know, I told I think when I broke the state record in high school, like I had that exact same question in the interview, and I basically said, like, and this is completely true, that I didn't even know I was close until about a week.
Yeah.
A week ago. I mean, but, you know, that definitely doesn't, you know, take away from how big it is. You know, especially I find it kind of cathartic because, you know, when I was at Western, a lot of, you know, people were saying that, you know, my game wouldn't translate, you know, to the college level. And even I didn't think, you know, for a little bit there that my game wouldn't, you know, translate, you know. And I think just, you know, I'm just really happy, really grateful, you know, that I managed to achieve it, especially my first year here.
Yeah.
You know, it's definitely very cathartic for me.
Well, anytime you pass the name Nick Mayo on anything at EKU, you're doing something big. I mean, Nick was a legendary player.
Yes.
So it's just it's crazy to see that, you know, you were able to do that. And you said in your first season, Nick, I think all-time leading scorer at Eastern. He's had a legendary career. Has Coach Hamilton talked to you about that? Any, you know, in, you know, passing who you passed in that honor?
You know, he's just kind of keeping my head on the ground, a little bit. You know, he's obviously we celebrated. You know, we got our good jobs and high fives, but, you know, he wants, you know, me especially to stay focused.
Yeah.
You know, on the next game, next thing, and just, you know, continue to not think about it and just play my game, not, you know, think about, because biggest challenge with breaking the block shot record here is probably not, you know, thinking about breaking it.
Yeah.
You know, not trying to go for any crazy blocks or try and force anything. So, you know, I think he's done a real good job of that.
Isaiah, with the blocks and all this stuff, you're finally here at EKU, and everyone's excited to see you at EKU. You're a senior, right?
Yeah.
So you played during COVID. Any chance we may get another year next year?
Yeah, I don't really know how that works, but I'm pretty sure I do have another year of eligibility to spare. Yeah, just after this year, just see what next year brings. So it's on the table.
See, we're going to manifest it. We're going to wishful
think.
thinking.
We want you another year.
We were wishful thinking it, you leaving Western, coming to Eastern.
Yeah.
We always wanted you in the Maroon. So you got Newcomer of the Week back like on January 16th. Talk to us about that. You had a breakout game, you know, beating Stetson. They were the #1 team at the time. So talk to us about that. You have just progressed, and now we're, you know, getting ready for tournament time. So let's talk about the season for you.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride. I mean, you know, it's just funny to think about, like, even all the way back in the preseason, I didn't even know if I was going to start or not. Obviously, you know, I didn't really even have much confidence I was going to start or not. You know, that was probably the biggest challenge, was me getting my confidence up. And I think, you know, throughout this entire season, it's just been going up and up and up. And, you know, it's been affecting my play in such a good way. And getting newcomer of the week was definitely special because, you know, Stetson was the number 1 team in the league at the time. And we just had a really good game against them. You know, and I had a really good game that game. And, you know, it kind of just all came together into this kind of monumental experience. I think that's, you know, it's definitely been a fun season for sure, regardless of the road bumps that we've had.
You know, this team seems like it's full of a bunch of just cool dudes that you want to play ball with and hang out with. I mean, you got Michael Moreno, some guys you had battles with in high school. Moreno and Rob, obviously at Scott County. You didn't play against Deshaun. We was to Frederick Douglass, but, I mean, that's a name that folks around here are going to know. Turner Butcher, I think you played against him your senior year when he was an 8th grader over at Madison Southern. But when you look at this team, Blanton winning Player of the Week this week in the A-Sun, the 2 freshman guards, Comer and Walker, it just seems like it's a bunch of guys who just enjoy playing ball together. And for the head coach, Coach Hamilton. Talk about that. First of all, the team and what it's like playing for Coach Hamilton.
Yeah, I think what our team, you know, at least in my opinion, what our team probably is the best at is just buying in. I think, you know, just buying into, you know, whatever Coach Ham is saying, or, you know, whatever, you know, game plan that he has, you know, whether it's on the scouting report or it's in practice. I think just us buying in and just being just wholeheartedly just ready to go, regardless of what he says, regardless of what team we're playing and stuff. I think that's probably, you know, our best attribute is, and it just helps us play better as a team.
Yeah.
You know, especially like last night, Kennesaw was, I think, was around like scores were like 8-24 at one point. And, you know, none of our shots were falling. They were getting some easy layups here and there. And, you know, the crowd's the crowd effect was sort of dying down. And, you know, we were just, you know, AW put us into a huddle, and, you know, he just told us to stick together. And, I mean, that's exactly what we did. Could have had, you know, some guys that maybe got angry, they weren't touching the ball, or maybe that their shots weren't going in. But I think, you know, just us, you know, having that mentality of not being the individual but just being part of the team is definitely what's helped us have so much success this season.
You can definitely see it. I mean, they're having a lot of fun out there, Dawson.
So I want to know what was going through your head. Everyone's seen you get the 2 blocks, and then Tayshawn goes and yams it on that Kennesaw State guy. What was going through your head after the first block? You get the second block, and then you see him go down there and dunk it, and the crowd's going nuts. What's going through your head?
Man, I was happy. I was ecstatic because Tayshawn, you know, he doesn't usually dunk in game. And I mean, that was the first emotion that came through my head, was just surprise. I was like, man, he really banged on him. But, yeah, I was just after getting the 2 blocks, it wasn't until after the play had finished and he, you know, made the free throw that it dawned on me that I had broken the record. And I was like, well, you know, we still got a game to win.
Yeah.
So, you know, let's do that and then have a really good night.
Well, that was kind of what sealed the win for you guys, that moment. I mean, it was late in the game. You get those 2 blocks, and then you get that dunk. That was kind of the exclamation point on a win. Talked about beating Stetson when they were the number 1 team, when you won Player of the Week. Then Kennesaw comes in on Saturday. They're the number 1 team in the A-Sun, and you guys send them back home with an L. So these big games, I mean, you all just had a lot of success during these big games throughout the year.
Especially at home.
Yeah, what do you think attributes that the most?
I mean, I'd say just multiple factors. Like, one, like I already talked about, us buying into, you know, Coach A-Dub, and 2, you know, our crowd is always, like, shout out to them. They're always, like, ready to go, especially for big games. They're always showing out. You know, our student section is always there to support, regardless of, you know, even, you know, what I said about, you know, the crowd dying down. Even then, you know, we were still getting hoops and hollers, you know, even though we were down by so much. The Kennesaw game in, like, the first half. So I think, like, you know, once that play happened, you know, it was sort of like, you know, like you said, the exclamation point. You know, I think the atmosphere just never died down. It never, you know, let up after that. I think that was a big reason why we could sustain that momentum as well.
Well, the crowd and the fans were definitely there for a lot of the games, but they were definitely there for the Western game. How weird was that game for you, playing against your former teammates?
Weird. I mean, for one, it was the first game of the season.
Yeah.
I was, you know, it wasn't that long ago that I was in that, you know, jersey. And I kind of obviously been thinking about it all preseason. Was that game, and I realized even though it's probably not the biggest game for me, it's definitely the most emotional. Just seeing all those guys again and stuff, and even though I wish we could have beat them, I think we all played, especially for our first official game of the season. I think we all played really well, and that's the most. I've been here most of my life in Richmond. That's probably the most electric I've seen. Like the gym being in for a game.
Oh, it was
any
insane.
Type of game,
Yeah, I mean,
was there smack talk too? Were they giving it to you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's just natural.
Oh, I remember being on the sidelines and seeing Moreno and whoever was guarding him just going back and forth, and it got me hyped. I'm like, let's go, man. Because Mike seemed like he's kind of a quieter guy too. I feel like a lot of you guys are, but
competitive.
And I think that game too. And you talked about when we had him on a few weeks ago. He talked about his relationship with you. And first of all, any chance we can get the dance today?
I was going to say, I want to see the wrestling belt and
the dance only comes out like after
big
we win again.
Okay.
So y'all beat Liberty on Saturday. We get the dance, right?
Right.
Okay. Well, there you
we
go.
should have brought that up on replay.
Yeah.
we can find that on Twitter.
Coach Feldhouse, obviously, you and him had a great relationship. I remember talking with you and him on the show 5 years ago over at B-Dubs, having you all over. Talk about your relationship with him. Do you guys still talk a lot?
Yeah. Even after Jacksonville game, he actually hit me up after we played Jacksonville State. He just, he congratulated me and said he loved playing, seeing me play this year. And I said, thank you, Coach. I hope y'all are having a good season down there. I heard they beat the number one team.
Yeah, beat North Laurel. That's a big win.
Yeah, very big win.
And you played for Coach Feldhouse. The schedule is always tough. It doesn't matter, what year it is. There's always a tough schedule.
Yeah.
Have you seen them play this year? Got to watch them play any?
I got to watch a few games online, but
we appreciate that, by the
way. Yeah. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten the chance to actually be there live for one. I was hoping, whenever they have district or regions, I could maybe, stop by for a quick second.
Those games are on your floor.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
that's true. That'll be easy.
Oh yeah, you just walk after practice. Well, I think after practice, there's one game right after you all get done that first night. But, you talked about Central and the compare. You got one player that's already going to be a teammate of yours, Robbie Todd. Jalen Davis is still out there as well, potentially maybe coming to Eastern. Coach, this EKU team, you got Douglas, Jackson from Douglas. Turner Buttrey played at Bowling Green and at Madison Southern. There's a lot of Kentucky ties here with this program. Do you think that's what makes it so special? I think it makes the crowd want to come out and watch kids, not only that are good players, but they also some kind of homegrown talent here for Eastern.
I think so. I think that definitely has something to do with it. We got obviously Mike and Coop have already been here for a little bit, but then me coming in this year and then Turner and Jackson, like you said, I think it definitely contributes a little bit to just. Seeing players that you've seen all across, the state, come and play on this one singular team is definitely probably is a special feeling.
Well, we appreciate you coming over, my man. I know you've got a lot going on with EKU, but y'all got to head back out on the road this week.
On the 9th.
I guess the big question I want to ask you now, Isaiah, because I know when I talked to your mom, the thing was happy. Are you happy now?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. You could tell, my man. And we are so happy to have you back here in the maroon and white and have you on the sports show. Love getting to cover your career again. Obviously, we kept up with what was going on down there, but you could tell it's just a different feel here. And we appreciate you coming over and talking to us. What do you think you guys need to do? You guys have been playing so well, but now, between now and the end of the regular season, conference tournament right around the corner, what's the next step Eastern needs to take that next step and become a threat to maybe win an ASUN Conference Championship?
I think generally just staying together. I think, being able to finish games out just completely. Kennesaw, we played our hearts out. But, that first half was a little rocky. I think, if we can put a stamp on the game, like right as soon as the tip-off, happens, and like the games like FGCU and Stetson, then I think we can really have a shot at winning the championship.
Isaiah, thank you for coming over, my man. Folks, we thank you all for watching us here now on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. We got some big games for you this week. Tomorrow, Madison Central, Lexington Catholic, the number 5 ranked team in the state. The Knights will come in here to take on the Indians tomorrow night. Thursday night, GRC, one of the top 5 teams in the state. They'll also be in town to take on Madison Southern, and we'll be in Berea on Friday. Thanks for watching. Have a good rest of your week. We'll be here live on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.